The drums grew louder. Boom. 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 They were no longer far away in the forest. They were moving. Coming closer. The villagers stood frozen in the square. Everyone knew the sound. Everyone feared it. An old man spoke in a shaky voice. The market, it's moving. A woman gasped. That has never happened before. Ton slowly stood up. His legs were weak. The clay bottle still rested tightly in his hand. My mother, he whispered. I must give her the medicine. The old woman who had spoken earlier grabbed his arm. Wait. Her eyes were filled with fear. You do not understand what you brought back. Ton pulled his arm away. My mother is dying. The old woman shook her head slowly. And you may have brought death to the entire village. Boom. 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 The drums were louder now. Even the ground seemed to tremble. Some villagers began closing their doors again. Others gathered their children. Fear spread quickly. A tall hunter stepped forward. We must prepare. He held a long spear. If the spirits come here, we fight. The old woman shook her head again. You cannot fight what belongs to the night. Ton ignored them all. He began walking quickly toward his house. The clay bottle felt heavier with each step. The drums continued. Boom. 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 The wind picked up suddenly. Dust moved across the village path. Lantern flames flickered wildly. Ton reached his small hut. Inside, the room was dark. His mother lay on a mat near the wall. Her breathing was slow and weak. His younger sister sat beside her, crying softly. Ton, she whispered when she saw him. You came back. Ton knelt beside his mother. I found medicine. His sister looked surprised. Where? Ton hesitated. From the market. He opened the clay bottle. A strange smell filled the room. Sweet. But rotten at the same time. He lifted his mother's head gently. Drink this, he said softly. She swallowed the liquid slowly. For a moment, nothing happened. Then suddenly, her body jerked. Her eyes opened wide. Her breathing stopped. Ton, his sister screamed. Ton froze. Mother. Her eyes stared at the ceiling. Unmoving. Silent. Then slowly, her chest rose again. She inhaled deeply. Too deeply. Her eyes turned toward Ton. But something was wrong. Very wrong. Her pupils were gone. Only darkness filled her eyes. Black. Completely black. Ton, she whispered. But her voice sounded strange. Deep. Echoing. Like many voices speaking at once. Ton stepped back. Mother. She slowly sat up. Her movements were stiff. Unnatural. His sister began crying harder. What is happening? The woman looked around the room slowly. Then she smiled. But the smile was not his mother's. Good, the voice inside her said. The door is open. Ton's heart pounded. What door? The woman stood up slowly. Her head turned toward the forest. Toward the sound of the drums. Boom. 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 The market is hungry, the voice whispered. Then suddenly, she walked toward the door. Fast. Too fast. Ton tried to stop her. But she pushed him aside with unnatural strength. She stepped outside. The drums became louder instantly. Villagers were already gathering in the square again. When they saw her, they stepped back in fear. The old woman gasped. The medicine worked. But not for healing. Ton ran after his mother. Stop. She walked into the center of the square. Then she raised both arms slowly. The drum stopped. Complete silence fell over the village. Then, A lantern light appeared at the edge of the forest. Then another. And another. Soon dozens of lantern lights moved slowly between the trees. The midnight market was coming. The villagers began to panic. It's here. Close the doors. Hide. But it was too late. The first trader stepped out of the forest. Tall. Thin. Its glowing blue eyes scanned the village calmly. More traders followed. Hundreds of them. Carrying goods. Tables. Lanterns. Within moments, stalls began appearing across the village square. Just like in the forest clearing. The midnight market had arrived. The traders began setting up calmly. Some laughed. Some whispered. Some looked directly at Tunde. A tall woman approached him. The same woman who welcomed him earlier. "Welcome back," she said. Her smile stretched wider than before. "You see, the market always collects its due." Tunde looked around in horror. "What have I done?" The woman pointed toward his mother. She now stood silently beside a stall. Her black eyes glowed faintly. She opened the gate. "Now the market can feed." Tunde's voice shook. "Feed on what?" The woman smiled. "On those who still have shadows." Suddenly the lantern lights grew brighter. The traders began whispering. "Fresh village. Many shadows. Many souls." The villagers tried to run. But something strange happened. Their shadows began moving. Not with them. But away from them. Shadows stretched across the ground like living creatures. Sliding slowly toward the traders. A man screamed. "My shadow." One trader grabbed the shadow with long fingers. The man collapsed instantly. His body fell lifeless to the ground. The market had begun feeding. Chaos exploded across the village. People ran in every direction. But the traders moved quickly. Faster than humans. Grabbing shadows. Collecting them. Like goods. Tunde stood frozen. Then he heard a small voice beside him. "You see now?" He turned. The pale white-eyed boy from the market stood there again. "You warned me," Tunde whispered. The boy nodded. "You gave them the path. Can I stop it?" Tunde asked desperately. The boy looked down at the empty ground beneath Tunde's feet. "You have no shadow left. So, that means they cannot take yours." Tunde stared at him. "What are you saying?" The boy pointed toward the center of the market. Where the old man trader sat behind his wooden table. "The one who took your shadow. He holds the key." Tunde clenched his fist. "If I get it back." The boy nodded. "The market will lose its door." Tunde looked at the chaos around him. Villagers screaming. Traders hunting shadows. Lanterns glowing like hungry eyes. He took a deep breath. Then he ran toward the center of the midnight market. Toward the old man with the black eyes. The trader looked up slowly as Tunde approached. He smiled. "I wondered when you would return." Tunde slammed his hands on the table. "Give me my shadow back." The old man chuckled. "Trades cannot be undone." Tunde leaned closer. "Then I will take it." The old man's smile faded. "You think a shadowless man can fight the market?" Tunde looked into the trader's black eyes. "I'm not fighting the market." He whispered quietly. "I'm closing it." For the first time. The old man looked afraid. Behind them, the drums began beating again. Boom. 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 But this time, they sounded angry.